So for week 6 video response, I'm going to respond to a question by Jonathan Crow. His question came from chapter 20, and it says that in the instance of genocide, would you take the liberal route and try to help the oppressed world, or would you tend to stay out of the situation for international security reasons? He talks about what is the right thing to do. If you intervene to stop rights violations, you're going to cause more violence, obviously, to stop it, or do you not do anything because the idea, one of the reasons is because the idea of fundamental human rights for everyone may not hold enough political reasoning. I think that's exactly what the book said. And when intervention happens, there's a risk, obviously, of destabilization in international security. Excuse me. When I first thought about the question, it seemed like a very obvious question that yes, we obviously should intervene. Something must be done. But when you take it down to a state level, I don't necessarily know. It's a little harder to answer. Obviously, you want to help people who are victims of human rights violations, but as the book says, I think a lot of countries use that as an excuse to go further their agendas in other countries, which obviously isn't good. It's happened in the United States, Russia, China. I mean, that's happened, and they use that as an excuse. And then also, too, once, obviously, if there's genocide happening, probably the political structure of that country that's committing the crimes is probably going to be overthrown. And someone has to stay and rebuild that. You can't just go in. I mean, it sounds great to just go in and stop it, but then what happens to the government? I mean, you could throw the whole country into turmoil, and the same thing could happen. So there has to be some type of, I don't know what the right word I'm thinking of, like staying power that you actually help to rebuild that country and the government and everything else. And that costs money, obviously, money that a lot of countries don't have. So I don't know, the more I think about it, I don't necessarily know if a single state should be responsible to stop that. I think it sounds good, but I think that needs to be more of a world response, I guess, and governments coming in that collaborate together to take care of this. I mean, like the UN is supposed to do that, but obviously, it's more talk as far as and less action, I guess is the way to put it. So maybe there needs to be, I actually tried to look, I didn't see anything, but maybe there needs to be actual guidelines in place in the instance of genocide where a country commits that against their own people, that there's a set plan in place that that will obviously stop it, and then what to do once assuming the government gets overthrown, which more than likely I would guess would happen, to rebuild that state and that government. So anyway, that's my thought on this question. Thank you.